Wow, I never thought I'd ever say this again, but welcome back to Cards in Hand. I think is this episode 1, I think. We'll just go back to 1. Is that kind of how that works?
Yeah, let's just...
I think when you take a year off of something, you just kind of go back to just square one, right? Episode 1. Looks a little different here. This is also the show where we don't know how loud the opening is, so if it was really super loud, I definitely apologize. It sounded really loud in here.
Yeah, you know, you guys as the viewers always keep us in check, so let us know how that is.
It's true. True. Wow, this feels nice. Look at this. This is like really cool in here. Did you see the rollout of the name that we have now?
Oh my god, I love it.
Hold on, I'm gonna switch to something else. Hold on, ready? We're gonna go here, and then we're gonna go right back to here, and we're gonna watch it roll out. It was pretty loud. Okay, yeah. I gotta learn how to kind of tweak that a little bit. Anyway, what's up, man?
Oh man, it's been a crazy year and a half, or however long it's been. It's been crazy.
About a year and a half is probably more accurate, actually.
Yeah, yep, I think so. But yeah, dude, it feels good to be home. I'll just say that. Like,
it does. I agree.
I can't even. I don't know. My excitement's like it seems like I'm not excited, but like it just like.
Right.
I can't get the words out. Like.
Oh.
I'm glad you wanted to do this again.
Yeah, so do you want to tell that story really quick? That was kind of funny. How did this happen? It was just
I don't think we need to delve into how it stopped. More so is.
Well, I mean, if you lose your passion for something, there's nothing you can do about it. Honestly.
Yeah, you can't. And I was ready to go again, and I think we kind of just were like, But now I think because we've done it before, we have the experience now. And what was I doing? I think I was going to McDonald's. I was driving to McDonald's like at like 1 a.m. or something.
Yes.
It was like a Friday night, and Trisha was like, "I'm hungry. There's no food in here," and we didn't go grocery shopping. And I was like, "Okay, let's go to McDonald's." And it must have been like 1 a.m. or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joel messages me and goes, "Damn it, dude." And immediately I'm like, fuck, what did I do?
That's exactly how it went down too.
Because 2015 was just like a shit year, so like everything was going wrong. So I'm like, fuck. And he's just like, I think I want to do Cards in Hand again. And I'm like, ooh,
yep.
Ooh. Like,
yep. It was one of those things where I'm sitting here and I was looking at the old like comments from like the YouTube.
Uh-huh.
And I just remember I did one of these, and I said, shit. I said, dude, it's time. It's like, it's time now.
It's time.
It's time to do it again. It's time to do it right, too.
It's
time. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do, like, some legit graphics. And some kick-ass stuff, right? I don't know if anyone's noticing, but this is actually not just solid color. It's going between white and purple. That's right. Animated everything. It's awesome.
Shout out to One Tough Nerd. He said, "Holy shit, we're back." I feel the same way, dude.
True.
Feel the same way.
True. I don't want to say that One Tough Nerd was a lot of the reason why I wanted to do this again in the first place, but he might have actually been a lot of the reason why I want to do this in the first place.
Yeah, dude. Also, shout out to Mac289. He's a new watcher, and I know who he is.
Yep.
He's pretty cool. He's a cool cat.
Cool. So things are gonna be a little bit different around here. I know it sounds really mean to say it like that. It sounds weird, but it's not a bad thing. Clock to Draw is gone, right? I think that's probably better. Clock to Draw is just not really a show that I think we want to do anymore. There's just no reason to, right?
Yeah. And that sucks, I guess, for a lot of the people who we have likes on our Facebook page. But I mean,
right.
Well, okay,
but
it's not that we still play the game religiously, like
right, and it can still be talked about, obviously. Like,
yeah.
I just don't think it needs its own show.
Yeah.
Anymore. Although those were some of the more fun times too, it was really heart wrenching to have to like make that decision, but you know, it is what it is.
Yep. I think you should talk about what this is going to be now.
Right. So this is one of the reasons that I think we lost a lot of passion was because we just weren't talking about a lot of the things that we necessarily enjoy talking about for the most part, right? Like we like card games a lot, but we like a lot of other stuff too. We like movies, we like video games, we like tabletop games, we like everything.
Music, porn.
Well, yeah, but I don't really know if I'm talking about porn on the show. But we thought it would be a lot better to come back as almost like a cards in hand, like variety show, right? Where we can talk about all the things that actually interest us, right? So that we're not struggling to find news for a specific type of game, right? To talk about. Because we talk about a lot of other stuff. It's just, you know, it's not something we could talk about on the old cards in hand.
Yep. And I was all for it. I was like, when Joel presented the idea, I was like, yep, I'm into this.
Yeah. Right. And like looking at the notes, like this was written today, and this was just, I sat down for like 15 minutes, and I looked for, and like there was so much stuff to like talk about that it was like, okay, let's save that for the next episode. Like there's plenty of stuff to talk about. I think it's a lot better this way.
Yes.
And,
yes.
Yeah.
I think there will be some weeks where it's like kind of all about one thing, because if exciting stuff is happening, then I'll definitely be all about that. Or very epic things like let's say, for example, like, okay, this show is going to be all about Final Fantasy or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I could talk about Final Fantasy for that long. I probably could, but to be honest with you, I probably could. But it would probably be something more broader, like Squaresoft, or something.
Or Squaresoft? Come on, man.
Squaresoft. Okay, shut up.
What do you like?
I was playing Final Fantasy V.
1992.
I was playing Final Fantasy V, and the opening was always like Squaresoft.
What episode is this chronologically? This is 24? Pretty sure this is 24. Yeah. Episode 93 was not real. That was a hilarious preview that we came up with. A hilarious teaser, if you will.
One Top Nerd CIH Canon, episode 93.
But yeah, so this is going to be a little bit more of a broader spectrum show. The other thing that I want to talk about is that there's actually one show completely ready for YouTube. That is our Deck Tech show. It's not really a show. It's more of just like a weekly thing that I can pump out with the help of some of our friends, hopefully. All I need to do is just record fun decks that we like to play and games that we like to play. This can be anything from Magic to Hearthstone. It can be White Schwartz, which is the first one, obviously, because I still play that game a lot. That's all set and ready to go.
I think what's really interesting about it, too, is because I don't like to... It's weird, because in some card games, I don't mind net decking, and in other card games, I like to be like a technician about it.
Sure.
Like, especially in White Schwartz. I think it's easier in White Schwartz to be do whatever you kind of want thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't even mind like doing like, oh man, not doing like a whole EDH deck, but just like the main parts. Like, oh, like this is how this works or whatever. Like, because I'm super into EDH right now, or Commander.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, dude.
Yep. So like that's ready to go. There's another show that we have in the works. I have to design all the stuff for it still. We haven't really sat down with this, but another show, it's going to be called Barrier to Entry, which I think will be a fun show to do. Be like a quick, maybe, 10-minute short form kind of show on YouTube. Sound about right? Mm-hmm. Where one of us will pick a game that one of us is good at and invested in, and the other one is not. So we are going to try to experience getting into a new game from the perspective of a brand new player and see if they can have fun or compete with people that are already established in that game. Right? So, right.
Yeah. Card games or video games. Mm-hmm. You know, I think that's going to be funny because that's like the one thing that turns people off is going against somebody who's invested like right away.
Right.
But I think for you and I, we're willing to take that bullet just to, because like I've always wanted to get into Hearthstone more,
right?
But I just never did, and I think this would be good for me to get into it for sure.
So the first one that we have planned is definitely Hearthstone, and I definitely want to do Street Fighter V, because I'm not good at fighting games, and I know that you are subpar at fighting games. So, oh, dude, we can even do like Smash. Even oh my god.
Yeah, dude, we could.
Yeah. So that's like that out of the way. In terms of like other shows during like the week, yeah, I don't see any problem doing other stuff during the week too. I just want to get some stuff up there. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, no, I feel like.
Oh, I have to mention under the Cards on Hand Entertainment banner. It's different. It's not.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Entertainment.
Yes.
All kinds of stuff. I was thinking like, I was trying to think of like movie review stuff, but I hate reviewing movies because like I enjoy them so much that it's hard for me to like be nitpicky about them.
I wonder if I can show this quick while you say that. Actually, funny enough. I don't think I can. Is this gonna work? No, it's not. I had a series of logos done for all 3 categories. Actually, I think you saw that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So films is definitely a thing that I think we would have a lot of fun doing together.
Yeah.
Discussing together.
Calvin Chang, C Chang, MTG. No, I did not play Vanguard anymore.
What's Vanguard?
Well, okay, I was going through my Vanguard decks the other day, and I was like, man, this game was kind of fun. But, like, I don't know, man. The more and more cards come out, I'm just like, I mean, I'll probably save that for another episode. But, like, I don't know, man. We can get into it later. But I feel like...
I wouldn't mind doing a buried entry for Vanguard, but I'd have to use your deck. Because I've never lost at Vanguard before. So...
Yeah, see, I wonder if, like, Brian or one of the other cats we know... will have a current. I know, not Kong who lives in Georgia, but the other Kong has a current Vanguard deck that I could use, and then you could use an older one. It could be like, yeah, this was back in the day. This is now.
Or I'm thinking just starter decks versus, a non-starter deck. But that's all stuff we can get into later. Yeah, dude. Should we talk about some crazy stuff?
Well, hold on, man. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Chill out for a second.
Okay. I'm chilled.
So, what happened to you in the past year? I'm just kidding. Now, what'd you do this week, man?
Just
pretty much just working on this stuff
every single day. There was another project that I set forth to get done, and I did, and it felt good. Felt really good, actually.
What are you currently playing right now, like video game wise?
The same thing that actually, currently for video games, I am playing Witcher 3. I was a little late on that one. I tend to be pretty late on video games because I like to buy them when they work, after they've been patched for about half a year. That's just how I kind of like to play games.
Waiting. No, the PS4's out. I'm gonna wait.
Wait dude, I never get a new console right when it comes out. Dude,
yeah.
No, come on. No, Calvin's playing Witcher 3 as well. I'm not going to spoil anything. I will say there's a reason that game is on a lot of people's like top 10 list from the year, and it won. I completely agree. It's one of the finest things I've ever played. Both in terms of storytelling, in graphics, and in terms of like pacing. Excellent game.
Calvin, I don't know if you listened to anything we just said, but it's not just tabletop.
Well, actually, Witcher 3 has a card game in it called Gwent.
They do, and they printed real.
They did print real versions of it, and there's actually a mod for the PC version where you can turn the entire combat system in Witcher 3 into a round of Gwent. So, Calvin, shut up.
It's like Tetramaster or Triple Triad in Final Fantasy VIII or whatever.
I will say Gwent is fun, but it is definitely pay to win. If you don't have like the good cards, like if you don't spend the money on the good cards, you will never win. I got so frustrated.
So can you spend actual money like
no,
cards in the game? Okay.
But
just like your in-game money or whatever.
Right, and they keep patching out all the ways to like exploit for gold, which is not easy to come across necessarily at the early stages of the game.
Yeah, I've been hearing that all my friends are playing Rocket League right now, and I'm like,
oh my god, I love Rocket League so much.
We should get into that probably like.
I have it, bro. I have it.
Really?
Oh, we got to get it on Steam though, so we can play it together. Because you don't have a PS4 because you're a nub.
I know. I'm gonna get a PS4 soon when I'm not broke as shit. But Yeah, no, man, I've been playing Final Fantasy just to get hype for 15, and I just beat Final Fantasy 5, and that's probably one of the hardest Final Fantasy games I've ever had to play.
Cannot wait for 15. Holy crap.
I
Dude,
was
I will
okay.
say, well, okay, let's go back to Rocket League for a second.
Sure.
I hate sports games. I just don't like playing them.
Right.
I've only recently started actually watching real sports. Like, I've been going to, like, hockey games. Um, but
I work at a place where we make hockey jerseys, so I've been watching hella hockey too.
there
But
you go. I
which
hate
is weird.
sports games, but holy crap, is that game fun. And it is hard. That is a hard game. It's just as hard as it sounds, using a RC car to hit a small ball into a goal.
Yeah.
It is just as hard as it sounds. It's so awesome, though. God, I love that game so much.
Huh. But yeah, I've been playing hella Final Fantasy, and I might get into Chrono Trigger next, just because Chrono Trigger's hype. But yeah, dude.
Fun.
Yeah, dude. That's what I've been playing. I think I played a little Dust Force today, but
wow,
I think I'm gonna
huh?
I'm gonna save my history of Dust Force for another episode because that's like a huge like thing that took over my life.
Maybe you can film your own like Dust Force retrospective, right? Like
yeah, dude, I would not mind. There's a couple of community pack levels that I have. It's a precision platformer for our listeners. It's a precision platformer, so you have to like have a good completion rate and a good finesse rate, which means you didn't get like hurt or die during the run. And there's a couple of community made levels that I have not perfect scored yet, so that'd be a fun thing to be like.
I perfect scored everything, so it was alright. It was a little.
No, he didn't. Yeah, dude. No. Let's get into this. I want to hear about this because
so this was crazy, dude. And oh my god, I know Calvin plays Hearthstone. I know that.
Yeah, Calvin plays Hearthstone, and I'm pretty sure Brian does. And I think for me, and I don't know how a lot of people feel about this, but I know for me as like somebody who's been through like the ringer of rotations and ban lists and all that stuff and standard and not standard and whatever, I think for me this sounds like this would get me into Hearthstone more so than it may have before.
See, I don't actually know where I stand on this. I just don't. So if anybody doesn't know, Hearthstone is a free-to-play card game, digital card game from Blizzard. So you know that immediately means that there is just like an immense amount of polish to it, and it's like extremely like fun, and it's also not as hardcore as a lot of other card games out there, right? That's like Blizzard's motto is let's make this accessible to everybody, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to spend a dime playing it, though you should. You don't have to though. But there was only ever play mode, which is just constructed deck, and then they recently added a tavern brawl, which is like this random fun game mode. Every week it changes. Like this week, for example, you get a random weapon, and then every time that weapon's out, you get another one, and that happens to both sides. So like you construct a deck, and then you just play like that, and it's this really crazy set of rules. But that's it. But now, a couple days ago, they announced they're going to add formats. So standard and legacy, basically, from Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like, it's cool, right?
And
you'll get more into this when we do our barrier entry show, and you actually sit there on the ladder and play some of these decks. But it actually destroys some decks that have dominated the ladder. It doesn't really destroy Secret Paladin. It does. Yeah, a little. It gets one or two cards out of there. But so basically, it's everything except for two sets. It's the Curse of Naxxramas, which was the single player adventure set that they released, the first one, and then it's the Goblins versus Gnomes set, which introduced like a lot of mechs and stuff like that. And actually, those two sets introduced a ton of core cards for like every single deck. There's Sludge Belchers. If you're not running Sludge Belcher, you're just doing it wrong. It's a taunt that when it dies turns into a smaller taunt. It's the stickiest like taunt you can get out there. That's now no longer usable in standard. I know like Warlocks are losing out on their removal, their straight removal abilities, their Dark Bomb, 3 damage. They don't get that anymore. It's so weird. It's so weird. It feels weird. I don't know if I like it, but in the wild format, which is Legacy, all the
Yeah.
stuff's just free. It's open game. You can just play whatever the hell you want.
I don't think, and I think, yeah, Wild is a weird name. For some of our people in chat are like, yo, Wild is a weird name for it. It's like, yeah, Wild is a weird name for it, but I think they didn't want to step on
It's
any
so
toes.
weird.
Otherwise, they probably would have named it like Legacy. Do you know what they could have named it? They should have named it like Legendary format or Legends format.
Well, I think that would have confused people because people would have then thought it was just for the legendary cards.
Oh, yeah.
Control
But
Warrior will still probably be good, maybe, but they're losing out on Death's Bite. Handlock will, yeah, but look, you're missing out on like oh, what's his name? Anoyotron, which is huge for any kind of like handlock deck. I think handlock needs stuff like that.
is that like a mech?
It is a mech. It's a what is, I think it's like a 1/2 taunt, but it has divine shield, so it can get hit twice by cats.
Oh, the Anoyotron, right?
Yeah, the Anoyotron.
Yeah. There's a I was reading this article that you had sent me on Hearthhead that I was like, or Hearthhead.
Yeah.
It was like non-standard cards you will miss the most.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah. What is this? JRAM64 says no more Dr. 7. Dr. Boom. Look, there is one rule to any Hearthstone deck currently available. It's your 7-drop is Dr. Boom. It's a 7/7 for 7 that spawns 2 1/1 bombs that when they die do between 1 and 4 damage to a random opponent. Ever since they put that in, it's like, oh, well, that's just what we're going to run at 7 now.
Right.
It didn't matter what deck you ran, you put Dr. Boom in there. But that's no longer available either now, which is, oh my god, it's so sad.
I don't know, man. I think I'm okay with this because that seems really like...
I'm okay with it too, only because I realize that it's not just me it's affecting. No one will have those cards, right? So it'll require smarter deck building.
Yeah, that's what I appreciate about it the most, I think, because, man, I'm just trying to think of like any past experience where everyone had to run like in Pokemon. When I was playing Pokemon, when Calvin and I were, you had to run Pokemon Collector. You just had to, and there had to be 3 or 4 of them. You know, like that kind of stuff doesn't bother me so much,
right?
Unless it's, I don't know, like it just seems like that's one of those things like, oh, everyone's 7-drop is this card, so you always know it's coming. Like, I don't know.
Right.
Did you always know that was coming when someone got to 7 crystals and then
you always prepared for it? So like Calvin said, Dr. Boom will be a 7/5 and only in the boss do 1 to 3. That still doesn't stop it from being like a big game hunter target. Like you still would use your removal on that card. I don't think that would. Its health was never an issue really, because in the last couple of months at least, I know for a fact every single person ran Big Game Hunter, which is a 3-drop that just if your opponent has a 6 or higher attacking minion on the field, it just kills it. Oh, not confirmed, but either way, I don't think a nerf to that would do anything. Just either cut it out or let it be in. I don't think changing Dr. Boom's going to do anything.
Right.
I don't know.
Dr. Doom.
It does screw up my like favorite. So okay, Antique Heal Bot is another big one. It's a 5-drop. It heals for 8. That's a staple in a lot of decks. Like, and that's no longer there either. Like, you can't use it anymore. And also, it kills like any mech deck, which I guess I'm not mad about because mech decks are lame. But like some of my favorite decks, Day 9 has actually come up with both of them, which is weird. Day 9's so awesome. His Echo Control Mage, which is all centered around like 2 cards. It's Molten Giant, which costs 20. It's an 8/8. But for every damage you take, it costs 1 less. So once you're down to 9 damage, it's free, right? And then there's a card called Echo Medivh, which takes everything on your side of the field and it puts it into your hand. So you basically get down to 9 damage, play your 2 free Molten Giants, play your Echo Medivh, play 2 more, right? Play your Echo Medivh, play 4 more. Fill your board of 8/8s, and then you put like your ice, or then you heal yourself up a bunch, and then your opponent just concedes. That was the funnest deck I've ever played. By the way,
this something in what kind of deck was this?
It was in Hearthstone. No, it was just called Echo Control. Like you spend the whole game controlling the board, and then just lay down, 16 or whatever giants, and then just put your ice block up so you can't die next turn. And that was it.
Yeah.
It was like so much fun. It was like, but that's no good anymore because like anti-Keelbot's gone. There was another component there that it was gone. But like a shadow priest deck, one of my favorite decks, Shadow Beast, also no longer viable because of this change. But that's only in the standard format. And the way that it works is that they both have their own rankings. So
yeah,
is this really going to change anything? Not really. Really, at the end of the day, it's just making it so that people who don't want to play against Secret Paladin and don't want to play against like Oil Rogue won't. Pretty much. And that's the other thing, is that like Rogues, they took out a lot of the cards that actually make Rogue a viable deck to play, period. Rogue doesn't have a lot of cool options. They're actually really weak. They took out like 2 main cards that Rogues need to be anywhere near viable. So, I don't know. Don't know. I have a lot to say about that.
I think I'll definitely get into it.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Yeah.
The other interesting thing about this is that they're not letting you buy Goblins vs. Gnomes packs anymore. Once this goes, oh, dude, Melee Rogue. I used to play Melee Rogue all the time. So tight. Spell Power Rogue is the best. Anyway, you can't buy the Naxxramas single player adventure. You can craft the cards from those 2 sets, but you cannot buy them anymore. And that's weird to me because I can see them taking out the ability to buy the packs, but not the single player adventure. Those are so much fun. Like, it's just you versus the bosses, and they're all these like crazy encounters. Why would they take out the ability to actually buy the like encounters? I just don't understand. That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why you'd want to remove the fun single player element from your game.
In single player, so I'm not against somebody?
Correct.
Yeah, that's... So just let me do what I want, man. I just want to be solitary.
Right, and I guess, like, the thing is that when you buy the adventure sets and you beat them, you get all the cards from that set. Like, they don't add a ton of cards, but they add some staples.
Yeah.
But it's just weird that they would just remove the ability to get the cards in at least. Because I think those encounters are still worth paying for. They're still really fun. Like, I don't buy the adventures for the cards. I buy them because they're really fun to play.
Right.
I don't know. Should we move on to something cool?
I think, yeah, or something stupid.
Game is so
Let's move on
stupid.
Okay, so I recently was invited to play in this Pauper League for MTGO.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of faded out because people stopped, like, kind of doing it.
Right.
It didn't work very well. But it was fun.
So you're saying
Pauper,
that it fizzled, it didn't resolve.
Yeah. It resolves. How strong is that?
It's a different game, bro. Different game. Come on, man. You've trained for this. You've trained for this.
So Pauper is actually really fun, and I actually want to build a real one, IRL. But and you should too, because they're super fun. It's just all commons, which is the fun of it.
Sure.
But yeah, I downloaded MTGO and made an account and stuff, and it's pretty fun, and I like it. And
MTGO, is it the free one or the paid one?
Whatever the official one is, Magic the Gathering Online.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's like you got to pay like $10,
right?
And then you download it, and then they give you.
Yep, I actually did that as well.
Yeah, Calvin Chang, my Pauper deck was black red vampires with Gurmag Angler and I forget the names of the cards now, but it was basically like 1-2 drop vampires with like those side effects on the player, and but it was just like go as fast as you can, suck the life out of your opponent, and then Gurmag Angler because Gurmag Angler. But Gurmag Angler's he's like a huge monster that you drop, but you can delve, so you can just remove cards from your discard pile, and summon them pretty quick. But anyways, I saw this earlier. I think one of my friends posted it, but then you sent it to me. Pro Tour Gauntlet comes to Magic Online, and I didn't know what this was until I read it today.
Right.
But
it's pretty cool.
this seems pretty sick. I would not mind being a part of this a little bit.
Yep.
And I do still have event tickets that I never use for anything.
Oh, really? So. Do you just get them for buying it?
I think you get them for you get a couple for buying it.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember how you get them after that. After that, you think you have to buy them.
Right. Or I think can't you like win them or something? I don't know. But that's actually like a really cool because like so we were just talking about Hearthstone and like their tavern brawls where it's like a different play style, right? It's random, it's cool. That's like what this reminded me of, only in Magic terms. Like the Pro Tour Gauntlet is going to be they don't know how many yet, but a series of decks that were used during the Pro Tour. They're just going to be available to play in the random, right? So you're going to jump in there and you're just going to get a random deck that was in the Pro Tour, or that like topped in the Pro Tour, right? Is it topped? I don't remember if it's top or I know it's supposed to be a good deck from the Pro Tour. Mm-hmm. And then you just play it.
Yeah, it's up top.
Okay. Yeah, and then you just play it against other people who are doing the same thing. You have like a certain amount of time to like check it over your deck and see what's in there. But for the most part, you're not going to know. It's really cool. It actually sounds like a lot of fun.
That seems super fun. Mm-hmm. How many event tickets does it cost now? Let me look.
I don't know. I thought it was not that
time,
much.
Fire on demand, location, you go to play lobby, constructed tournaments, and then queues.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 2 ways to enter: 6 event tickets or 60 play points.
Okay, right.
Yep, and you do 8 players Swiss.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I would not mind doing that, except I know nothing about any of the things, the decks that top. So
right.
I guess that's part of the fun, though.
It is part of the fun, right? Because it's about like exploring other ways that you might not necessarily play the game, you know?
Yeah, right. There is a there reminds me of a story one time where I was at back when Legion Games was Misty Mountain, off of Burnsville Parkway.
Yep, I remember that.
And here in Bunnsville, Minnesota, or Minnesota where we live,
right?
There was this pro guy there. I don't remember who it was, but this was like in 2009, so it was a while ago. But he was like signing cards and stuff, and he was really cool. He was really nice. And somebody was like, "Dude, can you play me?" And he was like, "Yeah, dude, I'll play you in like 10 minutes, right?" So then like they started playing. He's like, "Wait, I didn't bring my deck. Like I have to go back to my hotel and get my stuff." Some random guy in the back is like, "Here's a deck," and he was like, "Let me look at it." And then he drew his hand, and he was like, "Oh, I get it." And then he won in like 5 turns.
Oh, that's really cool.
It was so funny. I was like, "No way, this dude's a BA." Like
that's pretty cool.
He's like, "Oh, I understand." Booyah, Grandma.
It's pretty funny.
But this Pro Tour Gauntlet thing. So wait, when does it start, or do you just do it whenever?
I don't know.
It says fire on demand, so I'm assuming that just means you do whenever you want to do it.
I think Calvin would probably know.
Yeah, Calvin plays a lot of MTGO. He was drafting today, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he always posts his draft decks on like this little Facebook page I'm part of, so it's like.
Calvin also plays a lot of Hearthstone. I know that he had a nice little run with King Mukula. He got.
What is that?
It's a legendary card. It's all right. It's not very good. It has its uses, but I think he got like 3 in a row.
Oh yeah, I know. I saw that.
In chat, he even says, "I hate King Mukula." Like your chances of pulling a legendary card are, I think, like 1 in 32 packs or something weird like that. So to get like 2 of the same one very, very quickly, because this was within like a week, that's something. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3. I think he got 2. Oh, he's so mad though. He's posting screenshots of him. I hate this stupid monkey. The salt's real on that one. Oh yeah, that's right. He got a golden one too, which is fine because you can disenchant a golden legendary into any other legendary that you want. Like you get enough dust so that you can craft any legendary that you want. So it's okay. He's just mad. So like talking about like the Magic Online game, I play 2 versions of it, right? I play the official one, and then I play the one that's on Steam.
The 2000 whatever it is.
This is called Magic Origins, I think. Let me double check in my Steam folder. It is.
Steam.
It's called Magic Duels. I'm sorry. And I have to say, I think the interface for Magic Duels is better. I think the free one is better. Unfortunately.
It's kind of like, I don't know why. The MTGO is actually kind of a weird thing. It's like they did it up real quick or something.
See, and that's my problem. I was thinking about this. Magic isn't this obscure, niche game. It's a big game. It's the biggest card game in the world, other than probably poker. But why have they not invested the time and the money into making just a solid experience, right? I hate to keep bringing up Hearthstone, but that is one of the most polished games I've ever seen, right? It is phenomenal. Right. Everything about it, the actual sound design, the actual design of the interface, it's all so good that I just have to wonder why Magic has not done something like that.
Right.
Why don't they want to move into digital? Calvin just said they don't want to move to digital. But they offer a version of the game where you pay for packs digitally. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. Have they not seen how much Hearthstone... I can't remember how much they reported. They reported $50 million a month they bring in Hearthstone. A strictly digital game.
Yeah, but you got to remember that MTG's been there since... I don't know the year, 1980 something. Mm-hmm. But I think that's their... I think they're fine. If they don't, you know what I mean?
No, they're fine, but that just... I'm not thinking about it from their perspective. I'm thinking about it from the consumer's perspective. For somebody like me, I would love to sit down and play a version of Magic Online that was actually legit, ran nice, ran smooth, looked nice. It felt good to play. Games are fun to play when they're good, right? When I load up Magic Duels or the official one, I just feel like I'm playing a crappy fan-made version of it. Actually, it's kind of what it feels like. It just doesn't feel like it runs very well. It doesn't feel as good as it's not satisfying to play to me. I play it so I can get my dailies done, and that's it. I don't want to sit and spend any more time at it.
You know what you could do is, and I was going to tell you about this too, is we should download Cockatrice.
Okay. Is that a fan? Oh, that's right. I know. Okay.
Yeah, it is a fan-made one. Mm-hmm. But it uses the honor system, so you have to do everything yourself. But and it's really kind of cheaply looking, but it's the easiest one to use, and then you can just build whatever you want.
It's still, man. I want that experience. It's you ever download those really shit cell phone games, right? Where it's just you just click on shit. You know what I'm talking about? You collect shards of a character until you get 50 of them, and then you can have that character.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Hey, there's one or two good ones, and there's 50 million crap ones. And playing any of the Magic Online games feels like the crap ones. Which sucks.
It's like the crap one.
Because you know what? I like Magic. And this is actually something that's been changing a lot recently for me. I've been playing a lot of Magic lately. Online, and with you, actually.
Yeah.
I really enjoy Magic. I think the concepts are great. The rules are fantastic. The way that the game actually plays is really good. I just wish that I could have a decent experience playing it online. I don't care if it's an esport or not. I don't care. And I just don't care. I think I would pay... how much would I pay for an actual good Magic, Hearthstone game? Because it's hard to say because Hearthstone's free. But I would probably pay up to $20 for a good solid Magic game.
Yeah. Maybe you're kind of yeah, so C-Chain just brought it up. In their defense, Magic is hard to program since anyone can do anything at any time. That is true.
But they do it just fine on Magic Origins. They give you a chance to respond to things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It just doesn't flow as quickly as it could, but that's a trade-off,
Right. One Tough Nerd said Dueling Network for Magic. That's exactly what Cockatrice is, except you had to download it. And Dueling Network is a browser.
I remember Dueling Network.
Yeah. Dueling Network is browser based, which I actually was playing a couple months ago,
Really?
and Get Exodiad.
Right.
Fuck you guys. I
Yeah,
won.
yeah. Calvin's right in chat too. Magic Origins does not utilize a lot of the mechanics that
Yeah.
MTGO has. You're absolutely correct.
And what
But
I was
look,
gonna say is
what?
what I was gonna say is that maybe you are a little spoiled by Blizzard,
Oh,
because
absolutely.
Blizzard is, and I don't want to ask Blizzard's D any more than
Right.
you and I already have, but it's Blizzard. like
Look,
you know what I mean?
They
like,
know how to make games, but you can't tell me that the people that work at Magic can't put the time and the money into it. You know, like if they really want to, they could. They really could.
Right.
And really, you already have your fucking template. It's called Hearthstone. Just look at that. Look at not don't copy it, but just like look at what makes that a fun experience, a rewarding experience to sit and play, and then try to incorporate some of that stuff into your game.
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe
but,
they're just. I think maybe they just want to try their best to keep it on the table.
Mm-hmm. That's respectable.
Just because they don't want that to die out.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand completely where you're coming from, because
well, it's like
I know who you are. I know the kind of person you are. You like, because you work at your computer like I do. Like I have a day job and then I have another job when I get home, and I'm on the computer. And if I want to take a break, I want to be able to just fire up. Like if I don't have my friends to play Magic with when I'm at home.
Right.
Obviously not. But
like when I'm waiting for something to render, I can't run down to my local card shop and play a round of Magic with somebody and come back. Like,
hey, this is gonna take 30 minutes to render. I'm gonna go see if I can squeeze a game down the road. Yeah,
it doesn't really happen that way. I'm just sad because I do play a lot of I play Hearthstone every day. I get at least 3 or 4 matches in every day just because it's such a fun game. And then I always play Magic after. And every time I like boot up Magic, I'm like, ugh.
Actually, for Christmas, side note, for Christmas I got an iPad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not big on Apple products, but I wasn't gonna say no to an iPad.
Well, dude, you can play. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna download Hearthstone on there for sure. I think.
Oh yeah, you can also play Boss Monster on there.
Oh yes! Oh my God! Speaking of which, nice segue, bro.
I know, right?
But so wait, for real quick, for Hearthstone, you just log in with your Battle.net account and it's like all the same, right?
Yep, and you get like some free packs just from playing, and then also once you reach level 10 with all the classes, you get like 10 packs. You get a lot of like free packs right off the bat just for playing the game. And then every day you have a daily, which is like win with Rogue, win with whatever. There's different things to do. That gets you gold. Every 3 games you win, you get 10 gold. So you can get a pack every day or 2, basically. And then just for winning a tavern brawl, you get a pack too. You're like your first win is a pack. Yeah. Mr. Lionsoul, I'm playing against an Echo Mage deck right now. He has 4 Molten Giants. Dude, that's what's at stake here. We're losing that. Sucks. Love that deck. That deck is the best.
Mr. Lionsoul and the 2, I call them the Bryans. Okay. You got One Tough Nerd and you got Brian Lyon.
Mm-hmm.
You got Brian Bain and Brian Lyon. And I'm waiting for it, okay? I know when we go off the air. I'm already laughing. I can't do it.
It's true.
I know when we go off the air, one of them has already by now have photoshopped some crude thing of you and I. Like,
it's true. So true. That was the highlight of my week is seeing whatever crap got posted on the Facebook. That was the best.
Like the Bryans, like fuck you guys, but also we love you for being there.
It's true. It's very true. Anyway, so Boss Monster.
Boss Monster, dude. Okay, I know you and I, when we did Cards in Hand before, we did talk about. We spent an episode having this as a main topic because we loved it so much. I still love it. I still love Boss Monster.
Yep.
I don't have any expansions yet, but
I haven't played the second one. Bad. I should have played the second one. I just don't. It's Boss Monster 2.
Boss Monster 2 is like the gray box. That's right. Yep. Is it really bad?
I don't know. I haven't played it. I have no idea.
I know they have down at Legacy Games down the road from where I live. They had a couple copies of it, and I was gonna get it.
Yeah.
But
Um, it's cool, man. It's a fun game. It was always a really fun game.
yeah,
I
it
always
always
enjoyed
was.
it. So um, you can actually they have this custom card builder. You can make your own cards for Boss
Oh
Monster.
yeah, yeah. That's what we're
Super
gonna talk
cool.
about.
That's super
Yeah.
cool.
I'm totally doing it right now,
Are
by the
you
way.
really nice?
Yeah, I'm messing with it right now, yeah.
What is it? It's what's the
I'm gonna
link?
make a boss.
I'm gonna throw the link in chat.
Yeah.
Anybody who
I'll wait to
knows
make it.
anything about it, yeah, if you guys want to go to that, go for it. It's really cool. You just like make your own custom cards because like they're not really doing a whole lot for Boss Monster right now. And that's that leads into another thing that we're gonna talk about in a second. But it's like cool. Just make up your own stuff. I love when you have a game that is versatile enough where people can make their own cards. To like kind of make their own way to play, which is always really cool. But they posted something on January 6th of this year, um, asking people what they want next, right? And they gave them a couple options. It was expanded multiplayer, which would be cool,
Yeah.
sci-fi themed, mini boss cards, or
Dude,
play as the
that would be
heroes,
cool.
or play as the heroes. That would also be really cool. If you could have a game where some people are playing heroes and some people are playing the boss monsters, oh my god, that'd be
I
tight.
would not mind that, dude.
No, or
Because there'd
just
just be
or
more players.
exactly. And the last option is just an all new game, which I don't agree. I think you should expand upon Boss Monster because Boss Monster is one of the coolest ideas for a game that I've heard of in a long time. I think they should stick with it. But yeah, no, like I thought that was cool. And plus, there's also a Steam version of Boss Monster, which I didn't know about. Um,
Okay, see, that I did not know about until you sent it to me today.
yeah.
I had known that it was on iPad and stuff, but
Mhm.
oh, okay, $4.99,
Yeah,
five
it's in
dollars.
early access.
Oh, okay.
If anyone's a fan of Boss Monster, I would just, I mean, even if it's like Magic the Gathering online version of like kind of like lame in terms of like how it plays, it's a way that you can play Boss Monster with your friends. For how
Dude, the
much?
interface looks really nice.
Right?
Really simple, really cool. Like I
Actually, here
like
I'm gonna
that.
go to our. I wonder if this will work. I'm gonna go to our
Yeah,
watching and clips.
let's
There we go.
let's show the dudes, right? Let's
There we
show
go.
the viewers this new thing you got going on with the
Yeah, dude. Our cameras are really zoomed in now for this, but don't
I'm
worry
gonna
about
make
it. It's all good. Don't even mess with it. So it's $4.99. It's early access, of course, which means it'll be out in 4.5 years when it might be done. Who knows?
yeah.
But yeah, it's right here. It looks great. I think it looks really good. Like they've actually put some time into making this look like the game itself. I wonder if I can
I like
actually.
how like so there's not even like a boss card, it's just your boss there on the right side of the screen, which is super cool and
Right.
like
Yeah, dude, no,
masterfully
that's really
done.
cool, man. Oh my god, I want this so bad. I just want
I
this
know,
so bad.
I might just buy it. I don't know.
Dude,
Cuz like, it's hard to get when it's just two people playing the game, it's not really fun.
true. That's very true.
It's better with like four people.
And see here, you can get the even though all the DLC too is another $4. So $8 or what $9. Throw $10 at it. You can play it. It's really cool, and it
So is the
looks like
DLC
there's a
just
lot
like
of
the
not recommended,
expansions or?
but
Oh, okay.
probably yeah. It looks like we got
Oh
the
no,
power
so
pack.
one's oh wow.
But yeah, I really wouldn't mind buying that. So there's a thing called Tabletop Simulator out there on Steam,
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
which is basically like the coolest thing in the world for anybody who likes to play tabletop games but doesn't necessarily have the money to spend like what $60, $70, $80 on a tabletop game or the ability to play with other people.
Mm-hmm.
It is just a simulator game with a tabletop, and people program their own sets in there. So there's basic functions like flip card, deal card, shuffle. But other than that, it's up to you completely. It's the honor system. So people have basically modded in any game you can possibly think of, like Smash Up, stuff like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Secret Hitler's in there. a Battlestar Galactica, like the tabletop, like the board game. It's so cool. And so you basically just over Steam play with other people, and you can draw little secret areas where only you can see what's in there. So that's where you put all your cards if you're trying to keep them secret. And you just play board games. Like,
Yeah.
it's like the coolest thing in the world.
Wait, so do you have that on your Steam right now?
I don't.
Okay.
It's one of those things that we've all like wanted. We just never got. I think we should
I
get it.
think you mentioned it when we did the show a year ago.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. It was like a really cool idea. I've been watching people like Total Biscuit play it with his friends. It's so cool. Like, and plus you can flip the table. I mean, you can flip the table. But like with that, like there's a lot of games that are physical that are going digital. Do you think that's a good or a bad thing?
Wait, what's the question? Tell me again. I'm sorry.
A lot of physical games are also shipping digitally too.
Do I think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
Mm-hmm.
This might be a whole nother discussion.
Think we should just save this?
I think we should save it. Well, because I have a lot of feelings on it.
Sure.
But I will say one example that I thought was kind of almost necessary, just because of who the company was. I'm sorry to mention it again, but Blizzard. You and I, and let me just tell you this story real quick, okay? So me and Joel did not want to go to school one day. Like we just, like for those of you guys who know us, we met in college. We just did not want to go to class, and I was living in this apartment where doing laundry costed me like $4.
Right.
And I was like, screw that. And there was down the road from me was this Burger King turned into a laundromat. So I went and met Joel at school, went and picked him up. We went to the gas station, bought a crap ton of junk food, went to the laundromat, and I did like 4 loads worth in one huge washing machine for like, I think I ended up spending the same amount of money, but with more loads.
Right.
But Joel brought this big box of World of Warcraft cards.
Still have it, by the way.
Because we were talking about it the week before, and I was like, oh yeah, dude, when I used to work at Air Traffic Kites and Games, they made me learn how to play it and stuff. And now when Hearthstone came out, it was, and Joel mentioned, yeah, it's the wildcard game and all this stuff. I think that was a very smart move, because the wildcard game wasn't doing so well, obviously.
Right.
Because it was very magic.
I could go grab something. It's actually relevant.
Oh, sure, yeah, go ahead. It was very magic-ish, and I think it was just too similar. Like, you play cards and you turn them sideways to summon them and stuff, and it had like the raid decks and stuff, which were super cool. But I think it was a very smart move for them to go digital. It was a way for them to keep the card game without like making the actual cards and doing what they do best, which was make video games. And they were able to do it in a form of like, oh, here's Garrosh Hellscream with his deck of Hearthstone cards. I think it was a very smart move. And that was probably one of the only times I was excited for something to go digital.
Right.
Because even when Pokemon TCGO came out, it was just dumb. I didn't like it. I don't know,
By the way, just interrupting really quick, I went through all my WoW cards recently, and I took out all the cards that were translated into Hearthstone cards. And that's what this deck is. This is not a Hearthstone card, but it's the Tavern Brawl. Shield Maiden, also being cycled out, by the way. Brawl. Like, anybody who plays Hearthstone would look at these and be like, tight. Leroy Jenkins. I mean, come on.
Leroy Jenkins.
So that's why that was kind of relevant, because these are the WoW cards, and these were like, they like translated the game into the digital version. It's a little different, but it's still like they literally took the cards, even though none of them do anything anywhere near what they did in the actual physical game. But okay, anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's. I think that was one of the only times where I was like okay with it, and maybe that's kind of not the same because it became a different card game still. But
right. Well, it revitalized the dying game.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, it was dead. Like the whole TCG was dead. It was a fun game, but it was dead. It like
Yeah.
got dropped and it
Just
got picked up by what Cryptozoic, I think it was.
yeah. Now it's I think now it's a living card game where you can buy the whole thing, and
Oh, seriously? That's
I
funny.
think so. I have to look it up again, but
Yeah.
I think that's a discussion that's probably
Okay.
gonna. I don't know if we ever delved into it as much as we
No.
wanted to when we did the show last year, but I do think that would take up a nice chunk of time to talk about because I have a lot of feelings about it, to be honest with you.
Mm,
So,
right.
but yeah, no, I think we covered it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one thing that we didn't mention. The TMNT board game.
Got it right here. Oh, right here. Damn, this is so tight.
Yeah, just leave it on the.
It's up there. It's up there, man. It's up there. Just talk about it.
Yeah, dude. So Kevin Eastman, co-creator of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, IDW Comics,
Mm.
is there? They started a Kickstarter. The guy who made Descent and Arkham Horror, if you've played those.
Oh wow!
Games,
yeah. Okay.
They wanted the rights to make a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, and they approached Kevin Eastman, and then now they have this Kickstarter. They're already when I checked it earlier today at 6:00, they were like at 70 something.
It's
They're already
297,469
of a 250,000 goal.
Yep.
So, it looks pretty fun.
It does.
If you want to back it, you can, but the lowest one was $80, and that's all gone.
Yeah, it's $90 or more.
Yeah,
that is to get the exclusive April O'Neil, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you get this. My mouse is hidden, but you get this April that's on screen, and then also you get the exclusive box, which is what's on the screen as well. However, for $150, you can get the awesome pizza box.
Yeah, I want that pizza box, man.
Cool. And you get the original turtle sculpts, so like the old Eastman turtles. Other than that, you will end up with these like the new poopy looking ones that I don't like, but it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what Peter Laird thinks. He's the other guy who created.
Don't they like not care about him anymore? Like, didn't he wanted nothing to do with like the new movies? But Eastman was like, no, dude.
I don't know.
I don't think they care
still
about
do the comics together, but I think he doesn't want to have anything to do with.
No.
I think he'd rather just sit in the shadows and get paid. But like,
pretty much, like, why not?
That's whatever. We can talk about comics a different time. But I mean,
conspiracy. That's why this game is called Shadows of the Past.
Shadows of the Past.
Done. So done.
But I think it looks cool. Like, one mechanic I thought was super cool was, so like if you were sitting here and like let's say Trisha was sitting on my left, and I'd roll like my dice, whatever. There's custom dice, so there's different. Like, there's like battle dice and other dice.
Let's see if I can find them while you're talking.
Yeah, she can.
There they are.
She would be able to use that roll.
That's cool.
Like the player sitting to my left would be able to use it because, it's like there's teamwork. You got to work together, which is what the Turtles do. That's why they're the ultimate fighting team. Like,
right.
Which I thought was super rad. I think that's super, super cool. And the sculpts look cool. The maps look cool.
Well, keep in mind, these are just CGI models, sculpts. But, so these aren't the actual pieces.
Oh, sure.
I know, I was like, oh, damn. But then I was thinking, like, oh, they're going to look like way worse than that.
Those are pretty good because I thought they were.
Dude, they're not printed yet. It's not even Kickstarted, even though.
Dude, sign on Kickstarter.
Who is Old Hob? This cat. It's like one-eyed cat.
Maybe it was like Splinter's villain college.
Look,
I haven't read that far in the comic. I only got up to like issue 3.
I owned every single Ninja Turtle from the originals, like, well, because they stopped making Ninja Turtle figures for a while. I had every one of them from when I was a kid, and I've never had Old Hob. I had characters that weren't even in the comics.
He's probably a character in like the newer comics.
Stupid. I don't like it. Just kidding. It's great.
I'm just so mad.
No, look, I will say, I saw the new Ninja Turtles movie. I liked it. I never thought I would say that. Ever.
Okay, that might be. We might. Okay, you know what? I have one major complaint that's kind of a big deal, but otherwise,
like penises. Other than that, I thought it was great.
That I didn't mind their look so much. I just didn't like the fact, and we should get into it more in a different episode.
Yes.
Cause see, we already have a million of ideas.
I know.
See, like,
I know.
fuck you guys.
I know.
But
Why? Why? What did they do?
Yeah, fuck you, Shy Guy.
Nice.
If he's still watching, probably not. No. But the fact that they learned ninjutsu from a book.
Oh yeah.
Like Splinter wasn't some like cool master guy who was like from like Japan.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that was still a thing, but.
Yeah.
But it was enjoyable. I think that last fight was super cool.
So the bunny is the first major enemy of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the IDW series. Gotcha. Old Hob. Old Hob. It's a one-eyed cat. You know, Old Hob looks like an old Tekken fighter.
He does. It's
like, you know what I mean? He looks like he'd be a Tekken fighter. I don't know. I got nothing else to talk about. I think we're done. I think we're good. I don't want to do this anymore. I think we should take another year break.
Nope. Yep. We're done.
I don't have an outro. I didn't make an outro card, so I don't have any music to play at the end here.
So we'll just go off.
We can play the awesome opening theme song, like from start to end. So tight.
I do want to say, Mr. Lion Soul, I have checked out Duelist. I'm gonna play it tonight, probably.
Yeah, I'll check that out too.
And I'll get back to you. And everyone who came on tonight. Okay, wait, Bro of the Week right now. Bro of the Week is everybody who tuned in tonight.
I'm just gonna give it to myself.
Fucking loser.
Come on, man. Come on, dude. Do you know that I had coffee, right? But I have 2 identical cups so that I didn't have to get up and make a new cup.
That takes away the movie magic, man. When you
That's the end of the show. No one's watching anyway. So I was able to drink all my coffee and then immediately switch movie magic-wise to another cup and then have more coffee. So.
He doesn't actually saw the girl in half. There's just 2 girls in it.
What, really?
Oh, shit. You didn't know that, did you?
This song is so tight, dude. I'm in love with this song. By the way, I want to thank OC Remix for having some of the coolest music ever. And it's free, so that's where our theme song came from, and that's where...
OC Remix is legit. Yep,
that's where all of our intro music or outro music is going to come from as well.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
See you next week.
Next week, same time, same channel.
Twitch.com/CardsandHannahman. Oh, subscribe to the new YouTubes to watch Deck Tech.
It's the same YouTube, but yes.
Oh, yeah. It's the same YouTube, but if you haven't subbed already, sub.
Let's go do it, man. What are you waiting for? Literally, I can see people subscribing and not subscribing right now, so if you're not doing it, I'll know. Don't be a dick. Just do it.
You don't even have to watch. Just sub.
You know what? I'm not gonna cut this until you sub.
If the number doesn't go by 1 sub, we're not gonna cut it. Like right now.
And it can't go down and then back up because
we'll know.
Then I'll know that you're just being a dick.
In fact, I'm gonna go look right now. I'm gonna go look. Nope, it's still the same number.
I'm